Entrou não, né?
Não, ainda não. Aí, ó.
Isso aí é under alert.
Todos vão entrar.
É.
Já tá.
O que é isso?
Já tá lá. Ok. Dá pra... We are live.
Não, esse under alert ele entra, tem que desligar se for o caso. Hã? We are live!
Yes.
Are we coming at you live now? I thought I had only yesterday to work, but Luca doesn't give me a break. I was home sleeping and watching some series that I love.
A blue bird told me you'll be every day.
Can you believe this? My wife already asked, are you gonna do this every day? Like she missed me.
It's working. It's live.
Yeah. Are we on?
Okay. You know, for our students, Renzo Gracie Upper West Side, Renzo Gracie headquarters, Holly's Gracie Academy. Holly's is, you know, outside the camera. Amber alert is going.
Trying to tell us that someone stole a car or something.
Yeah, it's.
I think it's a silver Nissan that they are looking for. But yesterday was such a success that we are back here again. You know, and today we have as a guest all the guys, all the students from my niece Kira Grace, from Gracie Core in Brazil. Sejam bem-vindos, alunos da Kira aqui, vai ser um prazer dividir o jiu-jitsu com vocês.
Yeah, we are going to also speak in Portuguese sometimes.
I wish I could speak Japanese.
I wish I could speak Chinese, you know.
Arabic, Russian.
Yeah, exactly,
Спасибо.
exactly. But you know, if I learn another language, I'm going to forget a lot of jiu-jitsu moves.
That's true. If I add any new knowledge, I'm even preventing myself from reading too many books because every time I do it, the hard drive is already at full capacity. I forgot some jiu-jitsu moves, so this is not good.
For our students, specifically of Renzo Gracie Upper West Side, I'm just apologize. We are not going to follow our program. You know, I'm taking advantage, you know, as much as I can of Master Renzo. If he's here, he's going to decide what we are going to see in terms of jiu-jitsu moves. And, you know, on the days he's not here, I follow the program, you know, with the other structures. We are waiting. Thiago's wife is pregnant and she went to the hospital today to have the baby, Isabella, but she decided not to come today. It's a girl?
It's a girl, so we have a new niece.
Yeah, exactly. You know, she decided not to come today, so they went back home.
And she's gonna be Pisces, which is the best sign in the world. You guys know it. Let's go for jiu-jitsu, rapaz. Let's cut the crap up.
Okay, you know, so you know again, Hollis is outside. He'll be here soon enough, you know.
I'm not doing position with him because I'm gonna look like a midget.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to be suffering, you know, both with Renzo and Hollis. You know, any questions there already?
Not yet.
They have a few that I read yesterday. We're gonna see today. We're gonna see the guillotine with the arm in. A lot of people asked me about that yesterday on the live through Instagram. But that was a position that I noticed.
Is it possible to do a guillotine with an arm in?
Before I did, nobody believed it was possible. Actually, one of the defense was to stick the hand in. Every time someone went for a guillotine, people used to put the arm in just to block the guillotine. Until I working in a smart way to have that squeeze still with the arm inside, which is more often you have an opportunity to get with the arm in than actually without the arm.
What else people asked yesterday? So for those of you,
they ask a lot about escaping from the mount.
Escaping from the mount.
Escape from the mount.
You
they
good
ask.
on that shit, huh?
No, I know a little bit. I believe I'm the only guy who was able to escape from Rogers, to get out from Rogers with this way that I do. You know, but I have a position that we're going to begin with, and I'm going to show you because I see a lot of people when they take the back losing the position going for the arm.
So just before we start, you know, I need to say something else. For those of you watching on Instagram, you know, not on Galler app, the broadcast is better if you go to Galler with 2 L's and 2 R's, galler.com/RGOA. create an account there, still time, you know, and you see more like a, you know, movie
You
format.
see from a real camera. That's
Yeah,
the difference.
exactly.
A much better
You know,
quality.
better sound and everything
But if
else.
you don't have access to the computer, or just keep it with us here on Instagram, and it will be a pleasure.
Yeah,
I think
and,
you're gonna be able to pass you the idea, and you're gonna be able to do it when you're training.
Another thing, don't try to watch the broadcast through our app, our gallery on the app. It must be on the browser. You know, you go there and
You know,
type.
this thing is complicated because I'm old and I don't have this ability to go here.
It's
there, here.
galler.com/RGOA. Our apps, they have
Renzo Gracie Online Academy, RGOA.
our app has a different purpose. The app is for you without internet connection to watch the lessons. So if you need to be in a place without internet connections, you go first on a place with internet connection, download the lessons you want, and be prepared for the time you won't have internet access. Okay?
Okay.
Let's
Now
move on.
I'm a little angry at him because he put all my stripes there. Now he doesn't allow me to lie my age now. Something's wrong with him. We're gonna begin with a position that I see happen a lot when people are training, especially when I put them to spar, and they go from a transition from the back to the arm lock. And it's very common to see them lose the position. And can you come sit right here? And it's the most traditional way that it's done. Move that way a little. The traditional way that everybody does, they hook the arm and they want to change right here. Look. The problem is every time I do this, every time I try to do this transition, the guy turns and he ends up always on top. Look, I always end up here, and then he starts squashing me, get on your knees, pull your arm out, boom, and then he's out. You know, and I found out the 9.5 arm locks, trying to get an arm lock like this, you end up failing, you know. So I work it a lot, even in my early years, to do an attack from here. I'll be here. What I would do as he's working, I'll get my hand in and I'll hold my leg right here, look. You see? Just behind, hold it right there. Now look what I do. I sit and I drive. Can you sit up, please, Luca? He cannot. Can you come up? Can you push yourself up? No. Now look at this. Right from here, I fix my hip, replace the hand, I have the arm. It's an extremely efficient, and it becomes 10 times harder for him to work his way out of there. And even if the arm fails, I'm going to end up in a very good position because I have his back glued to the ground. And it consists very simple. I go here as he's trying to block, look. Hand goes in, hold behind my leg. Now the knee kicks up. When it kicks up, look, I bring him down. I keep it on my elbow. Pressure right there. I fix my hip now. I square my hip up, boom. And his arm is still caught there, look. I place the hand on my thigh. I have it. So the whole time, his arm is secure and is ready to be taken. You know, I don't rush. I don't allow him for any moment, especially if he's bigger than you, to come on top. Because on the old style, as you pass the leg, they get on their knees, they squash you, and easily they pull the arm out. There's people that love when you do the transition from the back to go for the arm. Because that allows them to get on top, squashes you down there, and pull the elbow out. It becomes extremely easy to defend. You know, one thing that's extremely important when you do it, move forward a little bit more so they can see even better. It's here, look. I'm here with him. When I hold, you know, especially here, I work both hands on top, like I want to choke. Then suddenly my hand sneaks in, I hold it. Right there. Make sure that this knee hits his shoulder right here, look. As I kick the other leg out, look. Even if he tries to come up, put your hand on the ground. Can you come up? Look. The knee keeps driving him down. This knee here keeps forcing on his chest. That's what the pressure comes from. My hand pulls too tight. Now I fix my hip right now is sideways. I make my hip face the ceiling. Boom, boom, look, the hand is caught there, he can't pull it out. I replace on my thigh, and if he tries to pull, look, it's ready to go, look. Extremely efficient move, and I use it all the time. I love this position. I never go for the old style arm attack from the back, because with so many failures I have with that I don't even consider a good position. You know? What else, Luca? What else are we going to work with these guys?
Guys, are you guys watching well? The broadcast is good. The sound is good. You know, make sure you tell us either on Instagram or on the Gala website so we can fix. It's still time. Daniel, don't worry to talk. You can talk to us if you feel like we need to go here and there. It's very informal. We don't need to. We can listen to your voice, right? One thing, Renzo, that you may not know is the kids who train with us are also watching the classes.
Oh man, that's good to know. That's good to know.
A lot of boys and girls, a hug to
all of future stars.
Yeah, a hug to my boy Sal. He's like he put it on his notepad. He's 6, right? Sal is 6 years old. I think so, right? Yeah. So he put on a notepad all the list of movies he's training by himself at home.
That's nice. That's nice.
Don't
hurt your mom and your dad, please.
Okay, so any move we can teach for a kid?
For kids. Every move we do for everybody.
Exactly.
That's the difference. I learned everything that I teach now, I learned when I was 7. I began training when I was 5. In my first competition, I was 7 years old. Let's see another move here that I love. It's a variation of Ezekiel. Yesterday we saw the one from the back. Today we're going to see a different one.
Back as well?
No, on your force. Right there. Yes. You see, we are on this situation all the time. Right here, look. Controlling head and arm. He normally turns on his fall. He tried to take me down. I prevent the takedown. And I'm holding him here.
I'm not in this situation every time, no.
Why? You lay down flat?
I lay down flat.
Smart. I squeeze hard from there.
Yeah.
But let me teach you, Rapa. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Well, right now, I'm trying to hide your bald spot from the top of your head.
It's difficult. It's difficult. I need to make a trip to Chicago, to
I'm
my
gonna
boys
buy
there, Chicago boys. I'll pay a visit as soon as this situation
I'm
finishes.
buying a little paint spray and I'm going just a little on top here. But come, Rapa, let me show the move. So I'm right here, which happens all the time. He tried to take down, we right there. Look what I do. I reach inside my sleeve, the forefinger. Now look, elbow down, the hand sneaks in over the shoulder. All that I want when I place the hand there is to stop the spring motion. He cannot relieve the pressure on his neck. My forearm is running along to his neck right here. I grab it. Remember, when I go in to finish, my palm always faces outward. Because this is going to allow me to do the pressure without losing the grip. The grip won't break. If my hand is facing me, the grip is going to break. I won't be able to hold it. So I hold it, elbow down, the hand sneaks in open. Once it's inside, I lock as a fist to go for the finishing. The most efficient way to finish here, I'm here, right? Boom, boom. The hand goes here, look. I move my knee forward now, look. And then the pressure comes. It works. The pressure that you feel, it's exactly like a guillotine with the arm inside, Joe.
You know the worst, they cannot see I'm tapping the other side.
And this hand is caught. Yeah. So in reality, the pressure, it's exactly like a guillotine with the arm in. It's a strange, and this move, when I made it, I was able to be very successful and surprise a lot of people. Because every time they turn, they never expect. And the beauty of this move is, can you move down this way a little more? Yes. Every time I put this move on, I'm here and I put it right on top. And I go here. If he resists a little bit, I extend the leg. And he's going right over, look. To the finish right here, look. So he can't stop me from rolling him over, putting his back on the floor, and then keep the pressure tight. It's very difficult to resist, and it gets very tight fast. Né?
Very tight, and don't ask me if it's a strangle or a neck crank.
Because it hurts,
because it's
but
both.
chokes you out. You're gonna pass out, but the pain is big. You know, so it's basically here, 4 fingers in, elbow down, the hand sneaks right on the shoulder. I close the fist now, boom, and I move my knee. The pressure comes from this elbow, straight into the neck, like this. That forearm is what actually chokes him. And the moment that, if for any reason he's resisting or anything, you extend your leg, roll him over, look, just like this with the grip. When he lands, put the knees on the floor, forehead, you squeeze. Because by changing that angle, it doubles the pressure right there.
And you know what's interesting? These chokes here, you can do without a training partner. If you don't have a training partner now, you can use a pillow.
You can do right on the pillow. You can practice all those. That's how I used to practice. Look at this. People ask a lot about the plastic bag choke. So close your hand as a fist. A very good way to do it. I'm here. I go, boom, done. It's locked. So I put it on, elbow down, hand goes in, turn my palm out, and finish. So it's the same thing here. I can practice this right on him, look. I'm there, I bring my hand in, I fix my knees, and I have the pressure to choke, look.
Okay, what is the plastic bag?
The plastic bag, the choke plastic bag?
Yeah.
Lay down, legs that way. Right there, turn slightly sideways. I use this mostly when I'm across side or when I'm in the half guard. Let's do it here from the half guard so you guys can see it better. Most of the time I'm right here working to block him from coming under me, right? Now I grab 4 fingers right there, look. Then I pull it. I put the plastic bag on him. On that moment I bring the elbow down, look, he can't pull the head out anymore, it's done. Hand sneaks in, turn, finish. You see, and the secret is you have to be relaxed. A lot of times...
And you train here, right?
Yes, exactly like this, look, boom.
Imagine it, if it's squeezing, you know, my wrist, which is like way thinner than my neck.
Yes.
You know, the pressure that will be on someone's neck.
It's a real pressure, yeah. And I do it a lot. A lot of times I'm here, I just hit. Boom, look, done. And the secret is fully relax. Don't overhold it this, because most common mistake, people go to do this. What they do, they keep holding here. They want to do this, look, and then they get stuck. And you can move your head. This is crucial. The elbow going down is extremely important to control his upper body, his escapes. He won't be able to escape. So I go in, my elbow goes down, the hand sneaks in, now extend, finish. Right there. And I have been doing a variation that is extremely efficient too, especially when the guy is much bigger than me or when the guy has the arm in. When I actually do it here, look. And then he's coming closer, I go right there and I finish, look. You see the pressure comes, I go here, I tilt his head down and I finish. It's a lot of pressure coming from the lower wrist into the neck. You know, I use this from here, and I use a lot from here too, look, sit up. As he's coming up here, look, I go here, look, done. You see, it's the same as yesterday with the collar. Remember the collar, passing deep, done, finish. You see, so open, grab it, look, it's done. Just use right my chest, look, tilt the head, finish. The same thing will be done here, boom, look, done. You see, and it's very efficient, especially to finish heavy guys, bigger guys than you, as they are on the bottom turning in, which makes them, especially when the guys are bigger than you, sometimes even a little chubbier than you, makes very easy for them to get under you and to roll you over. So it's like, this is a position for bigger guys to make it efficient. It's like they make the body like a shovel to lift you up. So I use the same way to submit this way. So sometimes I don't even go to a full plastic bag. I lock it, tilt, and make my shoulder drop into his head. His head has to tilt down. So it's gonna double the pressure of my wrist against his neck. So I put it on and submit. I love that move.
Guys, for those of you who are too stiff at this moment and you're asking for solo drills, one of them is to sit like we are sitting here. This is really important. If you don't have this, the power of sitting on your heels, you have trouble in many positions in jiu-jitsu, right? And
Yes,
you are
it's
going to compensate.
Stretching, man. I learned stretching from my Uncle Helion. He used to sit watching TV for an hour, and he would be stretching as he's watching TV, even in bed. I remember he was always making one leg go the other way. By the end, he had a full split. He could do everything. I never had that patience. I always thought I like my stiffness a little bit, but I'm flexible enough to do everything.
But a lot of moves you've been doing to pass the guard requires you to
requires this to keep your hip low and to make your legs work while you with your hip low. Yes. So if you have always to have a chance, sit down, feel it, sit in the middle, let it relax a little, let it stretch. Believe it, after a couple weeks, that will be very easy for you.
Okay, any comment about the connection? Everything is good in terms of the sound, the internet is good, no complaints?
There's some more cursing us there, there's someone talking about Walid Ismail.
They always.
That loser, there's someone asking about.
They always.
Don't worry, he's gonna get his ass kicked, it's just a matter of time, believe it. I don't forget.
Come on, they're kids.
I'm sorry. He's gonna get he's gonna get jiu-jitsu on him.
All right, the escape from the mount?
There's a question here.
Yes.
When you go for plastic bag or Ezekiel's and they tuck their chin, how do you suggest finishing?
Yeah, the reality, it's like the plastic bag and the
Ezekiel's.
and the Ezekiel's. You can duck your chin. It's extremely difficult because lay down here so you can see it. Legs that way. Yes. When I go this way, look. When I'm here, and I reach, I'm pulling him. My wrist already carved. Look how deep it is on his neck. It doesn't matter if he's like this because it's all the way on the side. Look. So when I drop here, look. His neck is completely exposed. This works most of the time for chokes coming in the front. Coming on the side, it becomes extremely difficult to do it. It's the same thing when I do this, look. He can try to tuck it in. It doesn't matter because I'm getting on both sides of the neck. And one thing that most people don't know, they think a choke makes you pass out because you cut the blood supply to your brain. In reality, you don't. I was talking to a doctor in Brazil and he explained to me what you do is you squeeze the arteries in such a way that you make the blood shut up through your brain in a very higher speed. And your brain reading like there's something wrong, he shuts your whole body down. That's how most people pass out. So it's not for the lack of blood, but for the high speed of blood going through your brain at that moment.
All right. Okay,
What else? Anything else there?
I hope, Master Renzo, generosity, that's the word?
Generosity. Yeah. This is a pleasure for me. I like to be here.
To give Renzo Gracie Online Academy for free for at least 30 days, We start this on
Please let your friends know, let everybody enjoy. There's over 600 classes there. 600 and positions and counting, and we are adding more for you guys to have access to the best in Jiu-Jitsu out there. Please enjoy, spread, send to your friends, make them train, make them be introduced to Jiu-Jitsu.
Today I filmed 30 minutes of solo drills so you can practice by yourself. We are going to release soon. Everything's inside the platform.
And the reason that I can do that, it's because I have amazing students who support me 100%. I have an amazing crew that works together with me. We have been working almost our whole lifetime to make Jiu-Jitsu accessible to everyone and to keep a database of Jiu-Jitsu that my grandson Roman will be able to use to submit his opponents in the future.
There's a question about the arm lock from the back.
Yes.
Yes.
What about setting up with the Kimura grip?
It can be done too. It can definitely be done. But one...
Who asked it?
Jeff.
Jeff?
Jeff.
Medina?
No, Jeff Tubbs.
Jeff Tubbs.
Okay.
One of the major problems with that, it's a lot of times when I do this to change, I won't be able to use the knee efficiently. So I'm gonna have to move him away to pass the leg. That's when they extend the leg and they get on their knees, look. Yeah, you see, it becomes a struggle. You see? So for me to change here, I'm always gonna allow him to get on top. And then he's gonna trap his arm, get on top. Come on, look. Grab it, yeah, grab it, boom. Start stacking, yeah. That's what I don't wanna be. Especially if I'm lighter or smaller. It can be done. I like that the Kimura too, to change the Kimura. But most of the time, Kimura, I don't get it from the back.
He's light here.
Yeah, it's too light right here. It's difficult to do this to change, you know?
The
so
other setup.
here, it's a different ball game, look.
Yeah.
He's down. He can move now. So it's a much more complex and heavier position which you need to drive him down and be able to apply the finishing.
Okay, Jeff, I miss you. Any other question there? The Mountscape?
Mountscape. Let's take a look on Mountscapes. I learned, like all of you, the regular Mountscape. You grab it here, you spin to the side, you extend one leg, you work your elbow and you escape your hip. You have to understand, always, in order to escape from the bottom, you have to make your hip loose. You have to create a gap that allows your hip to escape. Then your legs will come right in. You know, I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you go to a gym and you sit down in a leg press and you do it, you can do a lot of weight. But you cannot do weight to pull your leg up. For some reason, we are extremely weak in pulling the knee up. And that's how guys who mount make so efficient. They stop your leg and you don't have the strength to work that. So you depend everything in your hip to move your way out of there. So when I was training for MMA, I was working very hard in how if someone landed mounted, because back then especially, I was 145 pounds, I was 67 kilos, and I had to work my way out of very heavy guys. I trained only with heavyweights because I was fighting in an open weight division. So I had to consider the possibility of someone ending up, especially being heavier, mounting on me during a fight. So I had to work in different ways to get myself out of that position. And one of the best positions that I could come up with, and I use it until today, and is extremely, extremely efficient for no gi and gi, is this one here. Let's begin just here so they can understand. The main thing here, look, is his hip. This time, I'm gonna forget about everything else that we learned until today. What I start doing is this. I would create a frame. This is called the Foucault's triangle. You know, during the Second World War, planes were designed with this concept on their wings, on everything. From 100 and some planes that actually left to war, like 98 or 97 came back to the United States. That's how efficient they were. They would fly with half a wing. With half a wing shut down, they still were able to fly and make it back home. And this was the concept, was the Foucault triangle. If you look how they're able to hold today huge roofs above arenas and places like this, you're gonna see the triangle shaped on everything, forming and locking. And I believe that's one of the reasons why the Jiu-Jitsu logo is always a triangle. You know, that means leverage. So here it's gonna be the same thing. Look, I block right there, look. Now I'm playing with his hip. So I don't care for the grips that he has on the bottom, what he has. All that I do now is I bridge and I lock. Can you move forward, please? He cannot. Now look how easy my knees come right back in. You see? Get out 1 second. Just be here. If you look, I lock it. Boom. I make a square right there. And now I can support this with, it doesn't matter the weight. I bridge to open a gap underneath so I can move my hip. And if you look, the Foucault triangle is still there, locking his hip. Now it's easy to put him back in guard. And this is so efficient, it's so strong, the leverage. Come.
Daniel, if the cartridge is, you let us know, so you can change,
No, it's perfect.
you know.
And another thing too, pay attention on our live streaming, because from the Instagram, because they cut it after a while.
1 hour, I think, you know. They
It's 1
cut
hour?
it.
That long, yeah?
Yeah.
So last time they cut it, we have to split in half. So make sure that doesn't happen today. Please.
Yeah. So we stop and start over again, huh?
Let me teach jiu-jitsu, rapaz. All these technicians, rapaz.
Okay. People are asking to speak one move in Portuguese, huh?
Yeah, no, it was a Portuguese question. What's your prefer? Qual foi?
Let him finish the bounce-cape and we go over it after.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so 1, 2, I create the frame. You know the beauty of this? Most of the time, the guy is down. He's heavy, you know? My hand cannot even get between me and him. I just put my hand, look, come up. I just put my hand like this, and I bump. When I bump, my hand goes right across. My forearm goes right across. It doesn't matter how heavy he is. The hand is there, look. I lock it. It doesn't matter how tight he tries to hold. You know, look at this. Bridge, come closer, please. Come. Cannot. And you see my hip is out. I have the frame locking him there. We are in. Most of the time, I finish right there. Because they try not to let my head escape. They think by holding my head, they will be able to get the mounted again. So most of the time that I do the escape, I finish on the arm. Because most of the time they are holding. Look what I did here. I'm here. I place my hand just like this, look. Foot on the ground. I don't care if he has the hooks under. I don't care. When I feel the hand's not going in, I bump. Just like this, look. The hand's going to slide. As I create a gap, the hand slides right in. I place it, elbow locks. I go over my shoulder. I lock his hip there. Now we're right back in, look. And it gets to the point that is even funny when I do it. When I do this, a lot of times, look.
I get so light.
They get so light, I toss them out their way. You know, it gets so easy to escape. They fight everything for you not to push them their way. I go like this. Boom, they fall their way.
It makes you look stronger. That's the beauty of the leverage, right?
And the whole secret, it's here. Hold one here. Don't hold in nothing. Palms like this, like a gooseneck. The second one locks right here. And your elbow is what's going to give you the gap that you need to escape. You know? This is, to me, is my favorite way to escape from the mount, actually.
Okay, what was the question?
What was the question in Portuguese?
What is Master Renzo's favorite half guard pass from the top position?
In Portuguese or not? Huh? The question was in Portuguese?
The question was in Portuguese.
Rapaziada, minha principal, minha favorita.
No, in English.
This one is in
Yeah,
English,
this one is
okay.
in English.
What's the what? The best half guard pass?
I have a few. I have a few half guard pass. One that I love, that I always had, lay down there. I always joke about, and it's even funny. It's I'm here, right? And most of the time they are even like this, look. And we are fighting right there. Look what I do. I lift one leg, boom. When I lift one, I open this one. So this is like I'm going against his leg, everything is tight. My hand is touching right here on his lower leg, look, to prevent, because this is the leg that gets you back in guard. You see? So I just go here, look. Now look what I do. I open the foot, I come up, I'm across side. This is so simple. I pass so many black belts like this, and it's funny because they not even understand what just happened, you know? So in reality, I'm here. Boom, I'm passing there, I'm leaning on it. They got the knee in. Suddenly, look, 1, 2. Hand goes deep in here. Let them see. Right on the lower leg like this, like a scoop, to stop the leg from falling. open the leg. As this knee is coming up, this one slides down. His guard is finished right here, look. And that's why I run this way. Most of the time, because the distance that I create with him, passing, he will try to get on his 4. That's why we gotta be always ready for him to turn his back so we can take the back. You know, most of the time, that's what he's gonna be his next option, because there's a gap between me and him here. I lift, bring it. When I go this way, he starts turning, look. He goes, turn on your force. Boom, yeah. So I'm going right there, look, to take the back. I know already that that's his next step. You know, as he dives in with his arm to go for his 4, I go straight to his back. You know, so basically I'm here, I scoop the lower leg, I lift, I turn this out. When this one comes up, this one comes down, look. Then I slide, boom, and I'm across side. You know, I use this a lot until the day that we start using the ones from yesterday. The getting square and all of those. What else?
Well, give you a break and let's bring Hollis to the
Please.
scene, okay? Guys, from Instagram, not on Gala, we are going to stop and start again because the Instagram stops the
I go there, I take
broadcast.
care of that. Let's get Hollis in here.
All right, but
Then
you're
I go.
going to stop and start
I
again?
go and fix it, yes.
Okay, but just make sure you, it's going to be interrupted, but it will come back.
Because
you know?
Instagram normally cuts at 1.
Yeah.
At 1 hour. We have been
Yeah, or
here for
even
35 minutes.
Yeah.
But last night was cut it after I think 1 hour that we did. Let's
So-
bring Hollis in and
So let's stop and come back again. Rolepo.
I'm out of here.
Ok. Para o Instagram, stop the Instagram and start again.
Okay.
Você tá querendo filmar baixinho um pouquinho, né?
É, melhor. Eu fico assim, dá uma moral. See, he's making fun of me live.
Oh, is it live?
It's live.
I thought you said we're gonna stop, man.
Just the Instagram. Legal,
Bullying makes you stronger. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Okay, guys, we can't wait to finish this whole situation. We are going to start like a road through our friends' academies, you know, teaching seminars, free seminars, and helping, you know,
Bounce back.
you know.
We are stronger, we stand. United, we stand. Stronger, we survive. You know, so we gotta go through this. This is gonna pass. We all know that, and we're gonna bounce back. All the entire jiu-jitsu community is gonna bounce back.
What happened there, Daniel?
Okay. Don't worry about it. Go right ahead. Don't be shy.
Okay, so everything is live again. Just repeating, you know, we make ourselves a promise that, you know, once this whole situation of coronavirus finish, we are going to be around, you know, on a road trip.
Road trip.
Yeah, you know, teaching some seminars for free in our friends' academies, and, you know, making, you know, everything.
Supporting, you know,
Yeah,
supporting.
support.
Because we've been receiving so much support from our students. They understand this is a very unique, you know, and you know, probably in this lifetime we'll experience something like this, and they're stuck in with us, and they understand. So we're constantly talking about how we'll be able to give back, you know, for this great support that we've been getting.
And we know we are still owing the kids, because most of we do here it's more for adults. But now the kids, you'll be able to do, you know, some stuff, because, you know, compared to Hollis, you know, I'm a kid, you know, so you feel like your professor is doing the thing with you. What's the move, Hollis?
No, yeah, it's I think I was using this time to switch the mode, because I was on learning mode, you know, like I was very pleased to see Master Renzo teaching the moves, and I was just like sitting on the side enjoying, you know, these moves and revisiting the moves that I've seen so many times, but like, you know, it's so much information in Jiu-Jitsu that we tend to forget things, and like to always to see Renzo teach is a gift, is a blessing, you know. So like I'm just flipping the switch to teaching mode now, and I just wanted to, you know, say thank you for everybody for, you know, for the extreme support that we've been getting. You know, I appreciate the views that we hear with us. We're doing our best to keep your jiu-jitsu thirst, you know, quenched. So we're here. We're gonna try to do some things. Of course, we don't want to do I believe your Lucas' goal too is like try to stay something like to a minimum space, because people are gonna try to recreate those at home, or, you know, the living room, the carpet on top of their beds. So, you know, we'll try to keep something a little on a little confined space.
And if you find creative solutions to train by yourself and to train in a small space, send to us, because we are going to learn with you. We are going to need this as well.
Exactly. You know, that's one of the things that I learned from Renzo too. You know, the beauty of Jiu-Jitsu is that anybody can learn from anybody. You know, like if you keep an open mind, you can learn from white belts. We definitely will learn from you guys sending videos. We would love to share some of the creative videos as well, right?
Remember, the parashooter only works open, right?
Exactly.
your brains, like your mind, should work like a parashooter.
Yes. Yeah. So you know, I would like to maybe do like a couple side mount stuff. It's gonna put a little bit of the thing that you guys are talking about, right? The foot here, right? You gotta have the you know, the flexibility, the development of this. This is important to keep your hips down. And
you want my head there?
no, yeah, in a second, because I wanted to, you know, since we have Renzo here, it's always I feel that I'm going to be put to the test, you know, because this is a concept that I learned from him. Back when I was in Brazil, before I moved here, we had the concept of looking to be heavy on the chest to chest on the 100 kilos on the side mount. Then we tend to be like sprawled out, putting the weight. And then when I moved to New York and I started learning from Renzo, you know, he showed us the concept of keeping the knees in, keeping a good balance, keeping a good tripod here, right? So that's
almost trading weight with tightness, right?
Tightness and positioning, right? Because if I'm on the side mount here and I'm sprawled out, probably my next steps, whether I want to do anything, if I want to put the knee on the stomach, I need to first bring my knee in, then I need to go there. So if my knee is already here, I can put the knee on the stomach right away. Mount is obviously right. They're just going to go to mount. And even if I want to spin around, I need to bring my knee first. So if your knees are close to the guy, to your partner or your opponent, you're going to be more successful and actually faster, right? Taking the transition or moving to the next positioning or to the finish. Okay. So this
Make
is
sure the cards are okay, huh? Don't you need to change any cards, memory cards? It's fine.
Yeah, the cards are okay.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
So, where do you want my head to be?
Yeah, so it's I mean, same concept, right? You know, like I was saying before, we used to stay like far away, again, you know, trying to pass the guy. This will be the position that we'll be in, right? And learning from Renzo, you know, I learned a couple of things from Renzo. Actually, a couple of things now. I'll be lying if it will be that. But from the bottom, I also learned how to be very relaxed on the bottom. You know, in that position, come up with a good defense, and on top be like this. All right. So I like.
Renzo, vai lá pra fora!
It's going too soft. Just for a second. Let me go back to the podcast.
Okay.
Too hot.
He's talking on the phone.
The problem is, you guys call me here on the podcast, Khaled from Bahrain, which is a country that I visit and that I love it. He's calling to let us know that he's fighting a jiu-jitsu competition, him and his son. He's going to be in it. So I had to answer when I saw his phone call. I had to jump in. Thank you, Khaled.
A good thing of Renzo, he sometimes breaks the rules. He breaks the rules to show who is the boss.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no rules. You know?
Exactly.
Renzo comes from the time of no holds barred. You know, no rules.
No gloves.
No gloves, no anything goes. You know, and he's the boss. He's our leader. He's like we learn a lot from him, and we follow by his guidelines. Okay, so going back to here, you know, I feel that by staying here close, you know, I'm not sacrificing, but I'm trading, you know, the weight by staying connected, quick transitions, right, one side or the other, opening, putting the knee, going to mount. I feel that, you know, I'm in very good agreement with Renzo that like the knee's gotta be here. You know, it's something that like if you're stubborn, you know, especially in jiu-jitsu, it's not gonna take you anywhere. You know, you got a good concept, you take it and you make it yours. All right. So here, you know, couple good, very simple things here is like lapel attacks, right? And this one is when the guy keeps the foot closing here. It's very common that also when you pass the guard, your gis all over the place, right? It's very tight too. It's very hard to keep the gis, you know, they don't behave to stay inside the belt. So very common for this situation here. You're in, you're there. So what we can do, we can grab the lapel here, and this is very hard for the person on the bottom to see that, right? They cannot see it, so that you're holding your lapel or not. So you can start like applying pressure here, like you want to turn him, like you want to mount. When you realize that they start to extend their leg, all their focus goes to here to break this leverage here, you can simply slide the lapel here, right? That's the key here, all right? So very important thing here, because every time when I do this move, people ask me, is this a crank or this is a choke? And I feel like for a while I struggled to answer this, and typically my general answer was, it makes you tap. I'm not, you know, I don't really worry about if it's a choke or a crank, but I feel that like if you grab, you know, and you start turning, you're gonna become more like of a crank, right? But if you tighten it up here, see, if you pull and you tighten it up towards the neck and you start going away, it becomes more of a choke.
Indeed.
You know?
The first was a crank, the second was a choke.
I mean, both, if, you know, depending, like, you know, I feel that a crank, a smaller guy is harder to make somebody, a bigger guy tap on a crank, but a choke is a choke will work eventually on anybody, you know. And this one, it was actually, you know, this tricky detail here I learned from the guy who was just sitting before me here. You know, I used to learn this position by going here, but every time I used to go here, the guy would see that coming, the arm, you start to block, I had to relieve the weight, but when I start seeing Renzo attacking going from here, the attention goes in there, it's very easy to sneak in. You know, so that's another thing that I incorporated from on my game from there. So again, you know, I think when we get close to a submission, we get very excited, right? Our mindset gets like, oh man, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get this. So we get super, we tend to skip steps, you know, and we just wanna go and start squeezing and making things work. So pull, give one final adjustment here, pull the collar or the lapel around the neck, and I start going away, because now if you see, it's gonna be my lapel on one side of the neck and the form on the other side, and that starts to constrict his neck. And I just go, well, okay, you know, so that's
So a little adjustment before you go in for the submission makes the whole difference. Right?
exactly, and I feel that doesn't give you know, if it cuts the space, so the guy cannot like maybe try to weave the hand in, you know, like sometimes his hand won't defend, but you know, you start to increasing your odds of a more successful, cleaner attack.
Yeah, most of my students already know, but you know, many of you are not my direct students. One thing that I learned from Renzo very early days was to never go to a submission before adjusting. Before adjusting all your grips, you know, and then you go there, you're going to spend a lot less energy. You know, he taught me that right after a match that I was so happy that I put, 27 points and I finished the guy, but it took me 5 minutes. And as soon as I left the mat area, he comes to me and said, Luca, you could have finished this guy in 30 seconds because you were on his back and you tried to, squeeze him without adjusting your grips. So, a little, mindfulness of like feeding the collar, adjusting your grips, like Hollis did. He fed the collar, the crunk became a choke. A strangle, So, this is a mindset rule that it's hard to break, which is like, adjust the submission before going for to the submission.
Yeah, and I feel that because we get excited, like we're gonna end the game, I'm gonna end the match, wanna end the fight, and you gotta stay calm, these very exciting moments, you gotta stay calm and cool-blooded and finish. I got a variation one that is a similar one, but on the side of the neck now, that these people typically don't see it coming, right? And it's pretty much the same thing, right? It doesn't require a lot of things. So like the guy is used to your hands being here, right? Your hands going around here. So for that one, this is a very common position, right? So if you have your lapel in your hand here, it doesn't matter. So here's the same thing. If I get my lapel here, how he can tell that I have my lapel, or if I'm just connecting my hands here. So like very hard for him to see that, So one that I love doing from here is the same thing. I have the lapel on my hand already. I'm just gonna push it forward, right? Now what I need to do is I'm gonna open my elbow. Okay, I open, let his head out, and I just look. Same thing on the detail here. I'm gonna start bringing in there, right? Instead of just going around and start bringing my elbow down, I pull. Look, now I have the lapel on the neck. And I'm gonna touch the elbow on the mat. Right here, just gonna start finishing. So again, it's a choke. It could be a crank, but it's a choke now.
Very similar to paper cutter motion.
It's a variation of the paper cutter. Yes, and again, another detail that I learned on the paper cutter from Renzo, think about putting your elbow on the mat, right? Don't think about like crushing. Before I thought the paper cutter was more about like crushing in here, And I learned from Renzo, put the elbow on the mat and then just start sliding up. So you don't need to grab super...
because my defense would be to turn my face towards here. So if his elbow is on the ground, I cannot turn.
Exactly.
Yeah, so...
And here's pretty much the same thing, right? So I go in, I open, I go around, I connect, right? I cut the slack there and I touch. Look, look, very hard for him to turn into me. So I just slide it up. If you still have some slack, you can always grab your own collar and finish right there. So two very simple attacks, doesn't require a lot of movement. I know when we pass the guard, when we land the cross side, it's always very hard to pass the guard these days, right? Look at people developing so crazy flexible guards that once you're able to land and pass, or you land on side mount and pass, I think people, they feel that they get nervous about moving and opening up. So I feel that these couple of attacks, they're very safe, little downside to it, and I think they're very secure.
Any questions, guys?
I'm jumping in on this one because I'm gonna need a big guy here to help me.
Okay, so
As I was outside, I just got a call. You can stay too. I just got a call from a brother of mine, this amazing Arab soul, Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa. Him and his son are actually watching right now. That's why I came here to say hello to them. And he has an amazing fighting program there. He runs actually a company that promotes MMA fights over the Middle East. It's an amazing soul who not only loves fights, but loves his people and the people that are around him. And he treats everybody on his country like they are family, like they are relatives. And he goes, Renzo, please show it, the move that you taught me while we were here training, because the beginners will love it. It's a move that we made it when Ricardo Almeida was fighting Mark Kerr. And I knew on Abu Dhabi, on the competition ADCC, and I knew he was going to end up on top of Ricardo. I say, we have to find a way that we won't let Mark Kerr stall, because he may score from the takedown, one of the best wrestlers ever in America. He may score off the takedown, and we have to make him move so we can pull out a submission. And we developed this choke that Ricardo actually went on him. He didn't let Mark Kerr rest for a second. And he almost submit Mark Kerr many times. As we finished the fight was pretty even though Ricardo was 185 pounds and Kerr was like 280, 270, 280. When the fight was over, I said, Ricardo, that was a beautiful fight. In my eyes, you won because you're half of his size and you were able to do it unbelievably. And as we were walking, I felt someone pulling my pants, like trying to call my attention, and I keep moving, talking to Ricardo Almeida. And then suddenly I look, it's Mark Kerr. I said, yes. He goes, please show me this move. I almost passed out 3 times. I don't know how I didn't pass out.
Mark Kerr, such a great guy.
One of the most amazing human beings our sport ever had. I love that guy, and it was always a pleasure to be on the fights with him, to share the stage
in
with him.
Arizona once.
Yes. Unbelievable soul. So I'm going to show you guys. And this is, it's a choke, and this is a gift from our brother.
Let me get ready.
Shake out. To you guys. Huh?
So you guys know Renzo is received both in Israel and
I'm a half a Jew, I'm an Arabic, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Catholic, I'm an atheist, I'm a Jiu-jitsu man. What else can I say? But this is the position that I don't need to take it off. I can show it with this, but it's going to be easier for them to see if I don't have the gi.
let me live for a while. Let me
Please.
drink a water, check the system here.
So let's take a look here. And this move is especially when someone bigger than you is on top of you trying to stall.
Can you start over again? We need to change cards here. It's 1 minute. We have only 1 minute here.
So
How is that? Wait a little bit.
No, here's fine.
It's fine. Yeah,
right.
change this one here.
just 1 second, guys. We change one card from one camera, and I'm going to be able to show you this. I love this particular choke, and it's amazing on the efficiency to make people work. This choke was taught to me by my student, Daisuke. He's the one who showed me, the crazy Japanese guy, and you were able to tune up some things and make it more efficient. Ready? Huh?
No, he's changing.
Where's the card, Papa? We can't wait that much. I'm Brazilian. I'm always in a rush. Boy, my brother Carlos is waiting, and I know he does this one well.
And it's late there already, no?
Yes, it is.
No chat though. Ben wants to talk to us. You want to talk to us, Ben? Let me see how.
Good? Now we're talking.
Ben back. I miss you, my brother. Let me see. A lot of, my guys seeing.
Ready?
Yeah.
We on. Ready, guys? So we're right here. The guy's heavy on top, look. The whole deal here, it's like, remember, the power always comes from your hip, right? So from here, I push, I turn my body sideways. I do that by extending my legs and turning, look. My hand carves in like this, look, under. And my second hand holds right there. The elbow, I bring into my hip so I can drive and submit, look. So it's here. These fingers are going to grab the pinky. This will prevent him from peeling the hand off. You see right there. The elbow comes into my hip, and my hip is what actually drives the submission. I open the hand as far as possible because my goal is to squeeze right by his earlobes. I want to go as further down as possible and squeeze like this on the end. It becomes hell for someone to stall here when you are doing this. And remember, you square, you extend your legs, and you turn your hip, look. Your knee is going to touch his belt right there. Then your foot goes here, hand carves under, hug to prevent him from escaping, and the power comes to submit.
So hard to see. Turn a little bit.
Lay down this way here. Lay down. Head that way, please, Hollis. Head that way. I do the same thing from across side, look. We're right here. Turn slightly sideways so you can see. Slide that way. Oh, no, vira de ladinho assim. Aí, assim, é. You see the same thing here, look. Here. Palm carves into your body, drives and finish. So I do this from a cross side, from half guard a lot. You know, every time I get a cross side, I go straight here, look. Done. You see, 1, 2, bring it in, drive to the finish. Drive with your hip. Remember, the power always comes from your hip. Forward and squeeze, look. 1, 2, 3. And I remember I showed this to Khaled a few years ago. He loved it. We were training down there, and he was doing. So it's the same thing when you are on the bottom. You want to extend your legs. Let me show you the move. Sit right here, Hollis. I'm like this. I extend my leg, and by doing this, I use his body as support to turn me sideways. Look, like this. Then the hand comes in like this. I hug the head, hold the pinky, legs are put like this, foot on his hip. Then the power comes from here, look. Right behind you. And by doing this, you kill his ways of escaping. He's not able to lock, to pull the arm out, you know?
Juicy tie, 1, 2, 3. Pô, who's Juicy tie? You guys need to choose a better nickname. You know, we don't know who is asking. What if they hang on arm?
There's no chance to hang on the arm. That's what I'm telling you. When you place your hand and you do this, the power comes from your hip. By attaching your arm into your chest and your elbow into your hip, you won't be able to open your arm. I know, because especially when I do from a cross side, lay down here. It's even funny because I'm right here, I go boom, boom, look. Straight. When I do this, if I keep my elbow open, he's able to stop, look. Easy, he push, or he locks my hand, lock on top, pull it. Yes, look. But when I do this, look, there's no, can you pull my arm out anywhere? There's no moving. The arm is there. You see? So I do the same thing when I'm on the bottom. It happens exactly the same thing. Okay?
All right.
What else?
7 p.m. Let's finish. Let's wrap up. You know?
Khaled, thanks for calling. Send my love to your son. And let me know how the competition went that you and your son fought it. I want to know about it. All the best, brother. Send my love to Bahrain. I miss that place a lot. Please. Let me dress properly.
Okay.
What else?
Now, you know, it's time to say goodbye for today. We'll be here tomorrow at 6 p.m. You know, hopefully with some guests, you know, like special guests. Otherwise, you know, I will hang with you guys. I mean, hopefully everyone keep the composure on
Remember,
these difficult times.
send to your friends the Galar app. Make them access. Make them have 30 days. They try as much as they want. They see all the moves. They go and study Jiu-Jitsu with us. You know, it's a pleasure to have you guys on board. I thank for all our members who support Galar on app, because thanks to them, it's actually not us giving Galar app to everyone, giving Galar videos to everyone.
It's our current subscribers.
Yes, all our subscribers are giving that to everyone else.
Yeah,
you know,
thank
extend that kindness to everyone else.
Yeah, well said, Master Renzo. Thanks for the subscribers. Thanks to Fuji Sport, Jimmy, Pedro, and Leah.
Fuji is the one that keep us alive, pushing us forward, making gis like this. For me to be wearing a black gi, it's because it's a very high-end gi. And thank you, Jimmy, Pedro. Thank you, Leah.
If you watch us today on Instagram, tomorrow, you know, you'll get a better quality. If you go on our website, galler.com/RGOA. Galler is like gallery, but you replace the last letter Y for another R.
Another R.
So 2 L's, 2 R's. Galler.com. It's very elegant.
GALLERR. That's it.
Okay.
Then go there and go take a look at some jiu-jitsu.
We thank, you know, Holly's students, you know, thanks for the support. We thank the whole Renzo Gracie Association, you know.
My beautiful niece Kira is in Brazil pushing out our students to train. It's a pleasure to have you guys with us.
And we say that we should thank more you who represents different teams, because our guys, we know they love us regardless, right?
They are under our banner, under our flag. So it's, but Jiu-Jitsu, we want to extend that to every single one. If you train, you're part of our family. If you wear the white armor and you sweat trying to improve this art, you're part of my family. You are a Gracie too.
All right. Hang on there, guys. We are going to get out of this situation together in the whole world, right?
Hell
You
yeah.
know?
I'm
Be
afraid the
healthy.
coronavirus bite me because they're gonna have to be in quarantine for 14 days. So it's, you know, that was a joke about Chuck Norris recently.
I know. Okay, guys, let's turn off. Thank you, Hollis. Hollis, you want to say something?
No, just take everybody look. Is this content going to be available later for them?
Yes, for sure. You know, we are doing different ways. We are going to make the whole class available, and we are going to cut, you know, the positions, the moves, and also make them available.
So this way you guys don't have to put up with our talking. That's it.
And for you guys who already, you know, browse the app, and for especially for those who are, you know, already subscribers, you may have noticed that a lot of Holly's content there. You know, he taught the whole fundamentals program, the one we designed back 11 years ago, the program,
Wow,
right?
yes.
You know, when Renzo opened Renzo Gracie Homedale in New Jersey. You know, me and Hollis, we were there. I mean, Hollis was the main teacher. I was there helping him with Joe Allert, with Steve, you know,
Yes.
and we designed that program, you know. All based on what? You know, and everything we learned from Renzo. You know, I was Renzo's student.
They talk about me like I'm an old guy that thought I learned together with you. What's wrong with you? More gray hair than I do, both of them.
But you can give Gala for free, but you don't give the shampoo for free for the guys. Huh?
Yeah.
If I had a shampoo to keep a good hair like this,
Give me the shampoo.
I would be rich just selling to my relatives and friends.
I'll trade my free Gala for the shampoo.
Ow! He'll trade his car. He'll give me his car if I had a shampoo that did this.
Guys, see you tomorrow at 6 p.m.
See you guys at 6.
New York time, PDT. We are
7 o'clock in Brazil.
daylight, right?
Bahrain, I don't know, maybe 8 hours ahead. Yes. All the best. Have a good night, everyone. Thanks for being here with us.
Turn off before we talk a little
Nonsense.
nonsense.
Which is possible.
Yeah. Especially if you had Matt Serra here, he would be, you know,
It's a
talking
different
crazy.
level. Changes everything. Foi?